champion. Thank you to Mike Cummings and all his staff have put together a outstanding course here today for our 44th Foot Locker National Championship. We'll see if the girls can match the boys. Okay. Carrie, do you anticipate as fast a start?
I think these guys are going to get out there just like Rachel did. Rachel took it out and wound up in third and ran a great race. So we're going to see somebody go out hard.
All right, so we will be looking. It should be great. We're just about ready to start. Here we go. Here we go, the 2023 Foot Locker Boys National Championship. We don't have one leader, we got 10 leaders.
Well, it is already different. But, you know, I think that a lot of the guys are looking around at each other. We've heard that time and time again. There's quite a few guys that are back from last year that are hungry and want to be the one to cross the tape first. Our top returner, Todd, he is up there right now.
That's it. So the end of the dog park loop, it is a good course. Lets people race 5, 6 across, but it doesn't race 10 or 20 across. And everybody's going to be looking for spots, trying to stay out of the dust there.
Yeah, they really are. They are running in a different race already, aren't they?
Yeah, so somebody will be cagey here. Somebody will make a move somewhere if before we get to the hill would be my guess. See Morgenfeld in there, Caldwell on the outside in there, but everybody in it. Through the first 400 meters, relatively conservative. We're going to be right around 65 seconds for the first 400. That's mostly a downhill 400, so that is okay. They're going out relatively well. At least it's an honest pace, but we'll see. And looks like Bergeron out of the northeast pushing that pace. Caldwell on his shoulder. You're right, Carrie. Experience matters, doesn't it?
I think experience matters in the early stages of this race. They want to make sure that they are out in front or out in a pace that they can handle. You know, we've seen time and time again where people get excited and they don't end up well. But these athletes right now have seen the course. They've talked. So many of the athletes have told us, Tim, that they've watched the old races, that they've talked to the people that have been here. They really do their research.
And Bergeron 15th in this race last year. Pretty comfortable pace, though. We're coming up. Just to give you an idea, we talked so much about Carrie's great race, Beloga's race last year. So Mathiasen, he led that pack through last year, too. They were right around 216 at the 800. And it's spreading out a little bit here.
Get a little antsy at times when you're running. You know, like I said, you're not used to feeling people around you, hearing so many people breathing around you. And when you're coming from being somebody that's undefeated in your state time and time again, it's hard to do that. Mentally, it's hard to be able to wonder if you're feeling okay because everyone around you is there, maybe not breathing quite as heavy as you hear yourself breathing. So we're looking at Eckerman right now, right up front.
At 217, that's actually right around what Matthias was, a little bit faster than Todd and Pajak were last year at that. Gavenas right up in there, Caldwell, Griffith, Bergeron, Hillhouse, Nance, put everybody in it. All those boys, so we've got 17 boys within 2 seconds of each other through that first half. So an honest 217, an honest pace, here they come, everybody in it. Eckerman from the Webb School in Tennessee. See Pajak moving up well, trying to get in position here. So you don't want to be out of it. Here, you've run this course there. There's a lot of turns on that lower part here into that pond area. You can get left behind if you're not careful.
Yeah, you have to think about the tangents and where you are. In a big pack like this, you have to kind of think about how do I get out of trouble if I want to? How do I get up on Eckerman's shoulder right now when I'm in 15th, 20th place? You know, some of these athletes do not like to be back in the pack. They get a little antsy. You have to be able to calm yourself in order to get the best out of yourself. So, yeah, this is strategic. This is important for them to keep their eyes up, stay calm, and figure out where they want to be.
Well, if this was his plan or not, he is committed to it now. He is our leader, and that's only about a 5 to 8 meter lead over the pack, and everybody's still in the pack. Just about to they'll make another really good U-turn, and we said those turns make a difference. If you're stuck in the middle there, if you're in that middle pack and they start to make that turn, leaders are pulling away while you're watching your step to get through that turn. Now it's pretty much of a straight shot to the hill, and we'll get a mile time at the hill.
Well, that record from Ruben Reyna has stood since 1985. 4:41 is what he went through the first mile, and it's always fun just to remind you of that pace. His finishing time, 14:36.8.
What a great race that was. A lot of people, that and Melody Fairchild's race, maybe the two best cross country races high school runners have ever accomplished. You see that lead shorten it up a little bit. We're just about to cross the road. This is a little bit of an uphill grade on the grass. As we mentioned, there are no flat parts. It's either up or down, it's rolling hills, or as we get now, a big hill. Looks like about 4:43 there at the mile. It's going to be, we'll get the split officially here, hopefully in a second. But here we go, up the hill. Very steep this first part, very steep.
Cole Mathieson talked about that, you know, shortening his stride, really being choppy up this hill. That's what you have to do. It is a long, steep hill. It's not short and quick. It's long and steep, so you do have to adjust to it. You can't fake it up on this hill. You got to conserve energy, to grind your arms, use them, shorten those strides up, and get up this hill. But right here is where you sort of stride out. You're still climbing, so lengthen that stride, really work this upper part, and then let it rip on the way down.
All right, looks like Gavenas has led that group up there. Westfall, the Midwest Regional Champion, Hillhouse in there, Bergeron up in there, Steorts, Griffith, Pajak, all very close. Basically, everybody in the race was under 4:49 at the mile, so that's pretty good. Everybody right in it. So the first hill, no one has decided that this is the time. So everybody across the top, that's as good a group as we've seen in years, Gary, across the top. A little bit conservative, but an honest pace. So it's not like anybody's just sitting back and going, this is easy, I'll just cruise for a while.
Now, two of the guys, Drew Griffith, Ryan Pajak, from the same state, won their individual championships, went to regionals, sort of flip-flopped how they raced last year, and now back in it. You know, oftentimes you wonder if they are working together in this first lap, keeping their eyes on each other, because they know they're solid, they know they're good, they can work together. And here we go, coming down the hill.
Yeah, that hill, first time is a good preview. If their second time, like Reed Brown did when he came out of Texas that year, made up a lot of ground first time and then blew everybody away the second time to win the national champion. That looks like Ty Steorts, the junior out of West Virginia, looked very good on that downhill. Look at that, that's a considerable amount made up in just a quarter mile there. So he is now the rabbit out front, and here comes the pack, and it's a huge pack still. They'll come by there about 300 meters before we get to the halfway point.
Well, Ty Steorts has been up front in Virginia. He won 6 in a row there. He's a 2-time state cross-country champion. He missed champs. He missed the race here last year, and he wanted to get here this year. So it's been on his mind for the last 365 days.
Now he looks around a bit. He goes down. Here he goes across the road. He's going to come up to the halfway point. Steorts in there. Westfall coming up. Cameron Todd. Talk about experience. He's coming up right there. They go by the halfway. This is Steorts, Todd, and Gavenas. Everybody, Nance, Griffith, Pajak, Bergeron, Eckerman, Marshall, Kuhn, our Florida South champion. They're all right in it there. So all the regional winners. You know, they always say that of the 43 times we've run it in the past, 35 times it has been a senior and it has been a regional champion, and our senior regional champions are up there. So we got some experienced boys counting their spots right now. But Steorts is our leader here, heading down into the dog park loop. Let's hope he doesn't turn around, because there's a lot of friends following.
Well, Steorts looks good. I mean, he doesn't look like he's pushing. He did take that little turn, look back when he crossed the road there. He's obviously running within himself, but yes, he does have a strong pack behind him, and that is a little bit nerve-wracking.
Looking in that pack, you can see Gavenas, Todd, we see Nance in there, Griffith, Pajak, Bergeron you can see in there. Looks like they're all in that group, about 10 boys there, no farther back than about 10 meters. So this is the last good little downhill before we go all the way up to the steep hill. So here we go. Steorts making the turn here in the dog park loop. He'll be heading up to the 2.5 mile mark. Holding on, but that lead not growing. We're still just about 10 meters.
Well, this is that nice part of the course where you know you are over halfway. You got to just get ready for that second climb. They are working their way through this, but they know they're going to come up to the crowd here, so they're going to get a little boost of energy before they have to make that final time up the hill.
Look at that pack. That pack's thinning out a little bit. They're picking it up. They're going to go into the eucalyptus trees. It'll be cool and shady, and then they'll come out in the bright sun and head up to the 2-mile mark. But at some point, you got to start saying to yourself, you can't let anybody go.
Tim, this is where those turns really start to matter. As an athlete, you have to work those turns. You want to sort of hide, get away from people, get a little bit of distance every time you make a turn, and that's what's going to happen here on this part of the course.
There he is, coming out of the eucalyptus trees, heading up to the 2-mile. Steorts still our leader. Stewart, and also moving up in that group. You can see there's a lot of boys in there. It looks like Provenzano up in there also now. Gavenas still hanging tough right in there. But it's a big group. They come by the 2-mile now. Right at 9:47 at 2 miles, 9:47. That's a pretty healthy pace there. We're running pretty well. It's right what Cameron Todd was last year, and he had that great last mile. So you got Steorts, there's Gavenas, Marshall in there, Bergeron, Griffith, Todd, Nance, Pajak, all within a couple seconds of each other. Anderson now, Benji Anderson of the Midwest. He moved up 5 spots there between mile 1 and the halfway point of the 2-mile. Eckerman still in the top 10. Kuhn in there, all within a couple seconds. Here they come, Stewart's by, and here comes the group. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 boys essentially still in it.
Well, Brayden Marshall was here last year, 23rd in 2022. He knows this course. He knows what he's been dreaming about. Going past right here, all of you in the crowd. Let's hear it, make some noise.
Oh, I think the hill is going to live up to its name as a major player in this race. Gavenas moving, looks like Marshall moving well too now.
All of the threshold workouts, the thousands, the mile repeats, the hill repeats, all of it is so important right now.
Marshall and Bergeron, Gavenas in there. Still got a good group. Look at that. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. A little bit of separation there. That's the top 9 with Steorts out front and 8 guys in that group chasing him, and we're heading to the hill for the second time.
Here they go. They're starting to close in just a little bit. And this is the time they need to start using that energy right now. It's hard to make moves on that hill.
I think just a little bit more separation there. If anything, he's taken the sting out of that pack, that's for sure. So Stewart, that lead may not have grown much, but the pack continues to thin out behind him. They are now almost single file. That's an indication of how fast things are moving. And here we go across the road, and we start heading up the hill. Here we go. Is this where we'll find out who our 2023 Foot Locker National Champion will be? Who can run this hill? Stewart's up there. Here comes Marshall, Gavenas, Nance, Griffith, Bergeron, Todd. That's our group there heading up the hill. Pajak right there behind Todd, Anderson, and Kuhn. That's the top 10.
Oh, here we go. Big moves happening right here, Tim.
Here we go. They're going to make another U-turn. Still got about another 120 meters till they get to the actual top of this long hill. But Stewart, can he hold it? That'll be the key. Remember, he did it by taking the downhill. Could he come back on the downhill again?
Stewart came back to them on that hill. He needs to get his rhythm back. And it is a big move here to see that 4 guys have gone around him. Can he regroup? All right,
and
here we go.
Drew Griffith now moving on the downhill. And Holland Nance now moving up, or excuse me, Berkley Nance moving up. Berkley Nance right there. Griffith and Nance, that's our two now coming off the hill. It's not over yet. It could be somebody else, but Griffith and Nance have decided this is the time. They're going to go all out here. This is just about 500 meters to go into the race. Can they hold it? Can somebody else come back on it? Griffith now. And Griffith now making the turn.
Griffith, he came here last year. He was 8th. He wanted to come back and be better than that. He said he needed to maintain his position to work up the uphill. Well, he didn't maintain. He definitely went into the lead, and he came down this hill with a vengeance. Here we go, everybody.
Here he comes on his way. Drew Griffith, Pajak trying to close. Ryan Pajak has made up a lot of room. Drew Griffith, though, over the top can see the finish. Pajak closing. Drew Griffith, though, that move on the uphill, taking the lead. He is going to be the Foot Locker national champion. Drew Griffith, great finish from Ryan Pajak. Oh my, what a finish over that last half mile there for Pajak. 15:06 is that winning time. Pajak second. Gavenas in it the whole way, gets third. Nance holds on to fourth. Marshall fifth. Here they come across the way. Let's bring all these boys home. Outstanding race here today. Our winner, though, Drew Griffith, 15:06. Pajak closes second. Gavenas, Nance, Marshall, Steorts, hang in there. He got 6th. Bergeron in 7th.
Northeast, 1, 2, 3.
Well, they said they were going to do it, didn't they? My goodness.
I got to go get some interviews. Yay.
All right. Great race on the boys' side. All our boys continue to finish here. Drew Griffith's official winning time, 15:06. Pajak second at 15:12. Gavenas third at 15:16. Nance fourth at 15:17. Brayden Marshall in fifth at 15:18. Steorts sixth at 15:21. Bergeron seventh, 15:25. Cameron Todd eighth, 15:30. Benji Anderson ninth at 15:32. Juan Gonzalez at 15:32 in 10th. Then Liebert in 11th, Eckerman in 12th, Blumker 13th, Provenzano 14th, Kuhn 15th here. And right now you got to wait for everybody to finish. We'll have to see what the 6th place tiebreaker is. Looks like the South and the Northeast both at 38 points. So we'll start looking for who that officially is the 6th place finisher. For the South, it looks to be Kuhn will be their 6th man today at 15th place. And the Northeast, it looks like, now this is my unofficial count, I got the South winning on the 6th man tiebreaker there, but we are not the officials yet, so we will wait to see. So, Billy Griffith, that was a pretty good effort there, pretty well-timed effort there. Pajak just looked like if it not stayed a little closer, he might have had a shot at it, but you got to give it up for Griffith. What a great race, huh?
Yeah, it was awesome, and he's been here before. He knew how to sit, not go out after it. You got to respect Ty Steorts, though.
All right, well, let's hear it from the man himself.